Hi guys, my name is Trinh and today I am here to tell you my favorite books of 2017. I have read at least 50 books in 2017. I don't know the exact number just because it's not really the end of the year yet and I'm planning to read like a few more before it's officially 2018, you know? But I have accumulated books that I have loved very much in 2017. Last year I did favorite books of 2016, so I'll link up here if you're interested. But of course this year is about 2017, so there are 9 books that I'm going to talk about. Just so you know, I have done book reviews for all of the books that I'm going to mention except for one book. I'll link everything in the description box down below. I'll list the books, I'll list the Amazon links, I'll list my links to my book reviews, but I'll link everything below, alright? It's not in any particular order, it's just books I've read from January to December. So let's start with the first one. Everything Leads to You by Nina Lacour. I read this in January of 2017. I love this book so much. I devoured this book. This book made me so happy, honestly. The main character in this book is Amy. She is a set designer and she's very passionate about her career in a way. It's like a job. She lives in LA. In the beginning of the book, she and her best friend go to this famous actor's house, and the thing is he recently passed away, but then they find a letter written by the famous actor, and it turns out that this guy has a daughter, but no one has known about it because this daughter is like a secret. Amy and her best friend Charlotte, I believe. Yeah, Charlotte. They track down the daughter and they find her and then they tell her what's happening, and yeah, it's just so good. I love this book so much. Amy, the main character, she likes girls, so we have, you know, female-female relationship going on, and I just love the character. I love the set designing aspect of this because it's really interesting. So I love this book so much and I highly recommend this book, definitely. The second book is kind of a weird one. It's Wicked Sexy Liar by Christina Lauren. I read this, I want to say March or April, I don't remember. Sorry, my nose is like itchy. But I read this book because I love Christina Lauren's books and this has to be my favorite. This is the 4th book in the WoW Seasons series. The first 3 books are about different couples. This is about London and Luke. Luke is a player, definitely, and he has sex with a lot of girls. London, on the other hand, she is a bartender. She just graduated from college, but she was cheated by her ex-boyfriend Justin, so she's very wary of guys in general. But one day London and Luke, they meet, they start this relationship, but it turns out that Luke is an ex-boyfriend of Mia, who is a friend of London. So yeah, it's kind of messy, but at the same time I love this book so much. It's dual point of view, so you see from Luke's perspective and then you also see from London's perspective. I love the characters in this book very much. I love all of them. I also love Luke's family. They're so hilarious and this book is so good. Now, warning, this is an adult romance novel, so there are some explicit sex scenes, alright? That's all I have to say. Alright, if you're a child, don't read this book. I mean, it has the word sexy in it. But anyway, I love this book very much. If you didn't know, I reread the Harry Potter series in the summer. For a while, I have always said that Half-Blood Prince is my favorite Harry Potter book. But rereading it again, I have to say Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is my favorite Harry Potter book, definitely. This is gigantic and I love it. This book stood out to me the most is because this is when Harry has to grow up, definitely, because Voldemort is coming back in this book, and the first chapter really captures your attention because it opens up from Voldemort's perspective. I just love everything about this book. There's so much going on in this book, and I love that at the end we get the answer, we get the truth, we learn about everything that has happened throughout this entire book. It's just so good. Goblet of Fire is my favorite out of all of them, believe it or not. This might be my second favorite book of all time. I will show you my favorite book of all time later. But yeah, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is spectacular. The next book is The Summer of Chasing Mermaids by Sarah Ockler. I read this book in the summer because, you know, summer. The main character, Elise, I believe that's how you say her name. She is from Tobago, but I believe for the summer she's in America. I just don't remember what state, but she lives with her aunt and her cousin for a little while, and then she meets new people. She meets a guy named Christian, and she meets like I said, a bunch of other people, and it's very summery and it's diverse and it's just good. There's like some mermaid aspect into it, but honestly I don't even pay attention to the mermaid stuff. So in this book, Elise cannot speak, so she has to write to communicate with other people. I did go into this having high expectation, and honestly I was not let down at all. But like I said, when it comes to the mermaid aspect, it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, I don't pay much attention to that. I just kind of like move forward. But other than that, I love this book so much. I love the romance, and there is a competition in the beginning of the book, and it is a big deal because it affects many people who live at this beach house place. Oh my god, I forgot a lot of things. But I love this book. I will reread this in the summer, of course, because it's like the perfect summer book. So now, my favorite book of all time, if you do not know, is The Glass Castle by Jeannette. I reread this book in 2017. I first read this book like, I want to say in 2012. It's been years, you know, so I was like, you know what, I have to reread this book, and I'm glad that I did. If you don't know, this is a memoir of the author Jeannette. It's about her childhood with her abusive, dysfunctional, but fun parents. The mom is an artist, but she doesn't really want to have kids. Meanwhile, the dad is an alcoholic. You see that she and her siblings have to grow up at a really young age. They have to save up money, they have to get food and all that stuff. Meanwhile, the dad, who is a dad, he's not doing anything but spending money on booze, on cigarettes. It's really bad. And trigger warning, there is some sexual assault scenes, and it's really bad. And I believe there is like a rape scene too. And yeah, so it's really fucked up. But I think I love this book very much because it kind of shows you how much the author works her way up. She starts like at the bottom, and now she's like, you know, a really great writer, an author. If you don't know, a movie just came out in 2017 based on The Glass Castle with Brie Larson and Woody Harrelson. So overall, I just have high respect for Jeannette Walls, definitely. I love this book very much, and I'm so glad I reread it in 2017. The next book in this list is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. If Clark wasn't in this book, I would have never put this book on this list, honestly. I love the love interest of the main character, Clark. He's amazing. Oh my god, I love him so much. I think that's like literally the only character that got me through this book. Now, I'm not saying this book is bad, but there's like drama and like it's kind of dumb at the same time. And the main character, Andy, she's not really my favorite, honestly, because she's kind of annoying. But Clark, I love him very much. This book is about Andy, and she is the daughter of the senator? No, sorry, a politician. Sorry. Anyway, in the beginning, there's a scandal when it comes to the politician, her dad, and she gets pulled out of a scholarship, so she has to stay in town and she has to work. She gets to hang out with her friends, so her summer job is to walk dogs. So it's really cute. There are some dogs in here, and you know, that's always nice. I do love this book, mostly for Clark, I'm not gonna lie. I will reread this book in the summer because this is literally the perfect book for summer because it takes place in the summer. You have dogs, you have friends, beach, pool. This is it, basically. The next book that I'm gonna mention is a very well-known book, definitely, and it's The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I read this book in September. This book, oh my god, is so relevant in so many ways because this book is about Black Lives Matter, is about police brutality, and the main character, Star Carter, she witnesses her best friend, actually her childhood best friend, Khalil, is shot by a police officer, and the thing is, he's unarmed at the time, and she witnessed the entire thing, so it's very traumatic. And throughout this entire book is about how she needs to speak up about this issue, how her best friend gets killed, but people still look him down because he's in a gang and he sells drugs. But at the same time, he's a person. He was killed unarmed, okay? That is a big deal. And I love the characters. I love her family. The family dynamic is just spot on. I love this book very much. I cannot wait for her other book, Angie Thomas' other novel. She's working on it right now. But this is her debut novel, and man, oh man, it's good. The next book is Every Last Word by Tamara Ireland Stone. I have talked about this book so many times now because this blew me away, honestly. I didn't really have high expectation going to this book. Emma Books talk about this book all the time, so I picked it up, I read it. I finished this book in 2 days and I loved it so much. The main character is Sam. She has purely obsessional OCD. The only people who know about her disorder are her family members and her psychiatrist, Sue. Even her best friends don't even know about this, and I'm glad that they don't know because they fucking suck. But then in the beginning of this book, she meets a girl named Caroline, and Caroline introduces Sam to Poets Corner, which is like a slam poetry group kind of thing. I love this book because we have slam poetry in this book, but not just that, after reading this book I wouldn't say I'm educated in like OCD, but I am aware of her disorder, and I'm glad that I read this book. Trigger warning: mental illness, anxiety, suicide, and depression are in this book. So if you want to read it with caution, definitely. The last book on this list is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. I read this book in December. This book is so good. This book follows Natasha and Daniel. Natasha is from Jamaica. She and her family are from Jamaica, but they are also undocumented immigrants. So in this book, it takes place in only one day. So on this day, she and her family are being deported back to Jamaica, and they have to leave that night. Throughout this entire day, Natasha is running around New York trying to fix this mess. Meanwhile, Daniel, who is Korean American, he has a very important interview with Yale, and his parents want him to be a doctor, but he doesn't want to be a doctor. He wants to be a poet instead. So Natasha and Daniel, they meet, they fall in love, and yeah, it goes forward from there. I love this book so much, mostly because it's really different from other books I've read. I know this is like Natasha and Daniel's story, but also we get to see different point of views from other characters as well. Like the strangers they meet throughout this entire book, we learn from them like what their lives were and everything. Plus, it talks about important issues like deportation, immigration, racism, and parents' high expectations. Honestly, it's so good. And it talks about love and science and fate and destiny. It's quite entertaining. So I highly recommend this book, definitely. So that is it for my favorite books of 2017 video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's 9 books, and honestly, my right eye is twitching really badly right now. I don't know why, but I need to rest. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye!